What did he do? He only, in a relay type basis, I think, he only swam the English Channel. Graeme Souness is with us live this lunchtime. You realise you are the talk of the country?
Well, I hope so. Not for me, but for the reason we did it, which was to bring awareness to this terrible, terrible, evil disease called epidermolysis bullosa, which just is the cruelest thing I've witnessed, Jim.
It is indeed. So you've raised, I think, $1 million plus. We'll get to the actual precise figure in a second. So talk us through it. You actually got the wetsuit on when, and then gathered with the rest of them. When did you actually get into the channel?
It's a bit of a military exercise, and ironically, the guys I was doing it with were ex-military. So I was in good hands. Started training 9 months ago. Put my hand up when someone said, can anyone swim? I said, yeah, I can swim, but that was in the Mediterranean and in swimming pools. Swimming in our waters was quite different.
Speedos.
Yeah, swimming in our waters was quite different. So 9 months of hard training, getting up sometimes, well, during the winter months it was always dark. Sometimes getting down to the beach, walking across the beach when it's frosted, the sand is frosted, and getting in the water. And getting on with it. I have to say, there were several times I thought I'd bitten off more than I could chew. But then you get a bit of confidence, you start to work it out. And then it's upwards and onwards. Yeah. The idea was to do an hour at a time. I did on one, I went, not a walkabout, swim about, which they weren't happy about. I did over 2 hours in the water. So going into the weekend, I was confident I could do it. But only once did we do 4 or 5 miles out. And it's, if you think, our training was along, you go parallel with the beach, maybe 300 or 400 yards out, and you're going back and forward along the beach. So the water's either coming from your left or from your right. But when you're out in the ocean, it's and
it's a swell.
Yeah, and people, the guys I swam with, they're top swimmers, really good swimmers. They said they found it difficult, and then someone highlighted, you know, when you get in the channels, the sort of the big boats, as big as they come, go north, and the same coming south. And then crossing them are the ferries. And the water seems to be always churning. And the idea, you get into a rhythm and you get your breathing going. And because of that constant change in the water, it was more difficult. The first hour, we started at 10:30, so we go round out of Dover Harbour, round a corner, to a beach. Someone climbs onto the beach. They sound a horn. He gets back in the water. He does an hour. So that was at 10:30. I was in at 12:30. So it's dark. And you're swimming alongside a boat, and the only focus you have is a little light on the side of the boat. You're following the boat. They're not following you because he's trying to catch the tides. So you're in there, and I have to say that first hour was difficult. You know, it's dark. You're not aiming anywhere. You're just looking at the side of the boat with this light on it.
What were you thinking? Can I do this? Can I get through this?
No, this is not bravado. It's just... You've trained for it. Just get on with it. Do it. You know, this is what you've trained for 9 months, and I'm not trying to make a big deal of it because everyone had to put up with it, and anyone who's doing it this time will put up with it. You know, you're taking big handfuls of jellyfish and pushing them out of the way. There's, you know, a good. Must have done that a couple of dozen times.
As long as it's jellyfish, yeah.
Yeah, there weren't stingers, fortunately, but one of the guys got stung on the end of his nose. But you're and then you just get on with it, and then back out for a few hours. But I have to say, and there is videos of it, I am shocked when I come out after that first hour. I'm positively that I'm done.
Really?
Yeah. You can see, if you ever see a video, I'll get a video. I am done.
What, you're knackered after the first hour?
Yes.
And then you've got to go in again?
And then, you know, you get back on the boat, have some food, and then by the time it's my turn again, it was daylight. How the people who do it single, you know, in a
yeah. In a 1 hour.
It's beyond. I mean, okay, I can't come back to you, train for it, but that would be super difficult. And the other thing, which people, and I'm sort of putting out there because my team were fantastic and there's some great swimmers in it, but I think it's about 21 point something miles across the channel. We ended up swimming 30 miles because you're catching the currents. So we've got in the water, and I think we originally went north, and then we came back down like a big snake. And we did it in 12 hours, 17 minutes, which is a really good time. 30 miles in 12 hours, 17 minutes.
Brilliant. How did it feel when you got to, where did you get to? Where in France did you get to?
It was something, but we had to, the last little bit, this is how mad currents are. And I have got so much respect for the sea now. I mean, it's a changing environment all the time. I mean, I have so much respect for it. I thought if I ever fall into the sea by myself, I'll be fine. I tell you, the sea is so unpredictable. You know, please, anyone listening, respect the sea. It is such a dangerous thing, even close to shore. It really is so unpredictable. Never going on your own. So the last bit, I have to check. This is how mad it is with currents. So we were maybe 500 yards from France, and then we put in Sean, who's one of the best swimmers, and he was going for it because if we didn't get the tide, then it was getting up. It was sweeping right to left. If we hadn't gone in then, he hadn't done that to almost like 50 yards, then we all got in and swam the last little bit. The current was unbelievable. So you're sort of, if you imagine a clock, you're aiming at 3 o'clock to arrive at, what would it be, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
With that current. And if you hadn't done that, it would have been another 2.5 hours. We would have to have gone, way, it would have taken, the current would take us way around.
So that's why he went in at that stage, because he was your best swimmer.
Yeah, he was one of the best. But we did it, and I'm chuffed.
I'll bet
absolutely,
you are.
Absolutely whacked afterwards.
Yeah.
Like as tired as I've ever been in my life.
Yeah.
But we did it, and I'm
absolutely right. 1.158 million. That's what. Yeah.
Simon, the money will never be enough.
No, I know. But the point is, you set a blueprint, and you've brought it to people's attentions, and you've raised the money, because on Friday you were saying when you put the target out there, you thought maybe we've gone too big, and you've proven the fact that there's so much more can be done, and there's so many more events.
I'm talking to the converted. You guys have witnessed what this disease does to these young kids.
Well, we were up in Glasgow with you in the charity night. And this is a whole different effort, what you've done here, though, at the weekend.
It's truly horrendous. There's 3 things. Obviously, we earned the money, which will enable the scientists to repurpose these drugs, please God. And then there's been awareness, which is great, because people now can get involved, want to get involved, offering to work in our shops up and down the country, just contacting Deborah and saying, how can I get involved in this? And equally as important, there's people, because there's different levels of EB. Isla, you've seen pictures of, she has recessive dystrophic. There is one worse than that, which is junctional EB, which I'm saying this, and it's not nice. No, these babies they come out the womb and only live hours because they've got the 0 skin on them. And then the next worst one is the recessive dystrophic, which just makes me emotional talking about it. But there's other forms, like I was at Westminster last night. It sounds like I'm there every week. And there's a lesser form of it. I was talking to 4 ladies with that, and they told me people have reached out now. They know people with the lesser forms of it. They're covered. They would own up to having this disease. They would cover up. They'd maybe not be able to join in something that we're doing at work or at school. They cover up. But now people are saying, "Oh, that Deborah. Is that the disease you have?" And people are now engaging with them.
Yeah.
People are staying at home and not going to a doctor with us.
They're opening up about it.
And listen to this. I found this astonishing. There was 4 or 5 girls I was talking to last night. I said, "What do you do for your treatment?" Well, nothing. Oh, we put E45 on. I used to use E45 40, 50 years ago when I had a bit of dry skin. That's how much we've advanced. We've not advanced one inch.
Yeah.
In treating and helping these people. Not 1 inch. And they are now using E45. Really? Is that the best we can do in what is one of the greatest countries in the world?
Epidermolysis bullosa. Now, this little girl that you've been very heavily photographed with, linked with little Isla, she was there, wasn't she? When you actually arrived in France?
No. She's seen us off. She couldn't.
She saw you off.
She saw us off, and she was there to greet us when we came back.
And she greeted you when you came back this side of the channel. What did she say?
What took you so long? No, listen, this is a woman. She's already a woman. I know she's 14, but she's so smart, so bright, so engaging, and all she talks about, Jim, is other people, how they're suffering, how her mum and dad find it difficult to deal with her situation. She worries for them. She's an absolute star. She really is.
Yeah.
It's just.
Did you have a little moment with her to
more
share?
than one. Yeah. She tells me off. Like she told me off this morning because I was a wee bit late getting to. I was doing a thing at a TV studio. Told me off when we got back from France. What kept you? Oh,
this has changed your life, though, hasn't it? This has changed your life because you've been so into doing this massive event last weekend, and it was huge, Graeme.
Yeah, Jim, it's made me realise we're all so selfish. I'd like to think it's going to make me a better person. talk to me in 6 months' time. But it's made me look at things very different and making me. I've always been fairly good at realising I've been so lucky in my life. This is just maybe compounded that. It was a true wake-up call 5 years ago when I was introduced to it, and I'm in it. I'm in it for as long as they want me to be in it. I'm in this fight.
I know you don't want to be congratulated, but well done. So many people get in touch. I'll read some of them in the next moment or two.
I was lucky. I picked the right team, and I have to say this: I've never regarded myself. Did I say this to you on the telephone the other day? I've never thought of. Because you know I'm a modest type, Simon.
Very much so, yeah. It's the first word that springs to mind with you.
Well, you're very like him, yeah.
So we could be related somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
So I've never thought of myself as a weakest link in any team I played in.
Yeah.
I was the weakest link in this team.
Well, you did it. Well done, Graeme. You and I have had many telephone conversations, but last night, took the biscuit. I'm in Parliament. Call me later.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
One of those things.
We're coming up to 12:20.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.